Yeah.
And
So we have a recording through Zoom. Yeah. So I don't think you do, because nobody's gonna be able to see any more than, unless you would like the disc better. I don't know. Okay.
Don, do you want a separate screen facing the board? I can come up and turn on the other laptop right there.
Yeah, you just turn that on, or is it?
Yeah, you just turn it on and log it in. I'll pop up real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Why not? Make it official. Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, Jim will be up. He's going to turn that laptop on, which looks towards here, and therefore we'll see you guys. And they can actually, I should move closer, but I'm already on, so he can move it so that it catches the three of you. No more swearing at technology. Did a lot of that this week. Everything I tried to do, it just said, Just give Jim a minute and he'll set that computer up for us. Yeah, whatever, just, he's here. Thanks, Jim. What it turns out is I did not have to open NetExtender if I'm plugged in.
You're already on the server.
I'm already on, yeah, I didn't think it worked that way. I thought it had to be via internet, but it didn't.
We're gonna get our IT.
Okay, see how you guys look. Admit. I don't know that I could admit. I tried to admit. I think he may have to admit from downstairs. Yeah.
Oop. Oh. Nice.
Yeah, that's a secret spinning around over
We gotta make it co-host.
there. He's gonna make us co-host.
Yeah, but I don't know where they are. There we go. Well, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's them. They're in the list. We got
I
two.
can see us. Yeah, we only have two right now. And you're gonna have to explain to Jim, at one point, you're gonna have to explain to Jim down in North Carolina how to do this.
Oh, yeah.
He says, what's all the phone numbers? I said, I have no idea.
Oh, he doesn't need the phone number. If he's got a smartphone.
Yeah, he never made it. It didn't happen.
If he's got a smartphone, all he's got to do is click on the top link.
Yeah, but he never hooked up. Remember we lost him, Adam, we lost him.
Well, we lost internet a few times. Yeah, I don't think it was as much as losing him as losing the internet.
Yeah, he said, what's all the numbers that are on the sheet? Yeah, he said,
Yeah, you don't. That's only if you're dialing in and you're only going to use your phone. So, now where did I go? Am I in? Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Now I think we're ready. As ready as we're going to be. Here's we go. I see you guys over here. That's there. It's too light behind Frank, but that's how it works. I'm here. Jim's become very round and pale colored.
John, can you let this iPad in?
Admit. Yeah, I was going to do that too. I was going to bring a tablet in case we needed it. And there we are. So these are the participants in the meeting. We are set. I'll call it whatever time. Yeah, no, I'll call it what it is, 1:12 or whatever, close enough. 1:10 on my clock, actually. Yeah, that's probably fast.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bellingham Cemetery Committee and Trustees meeting on September 30th, 2020. It is now 1:12 or 1:10 in the afternoon. At this time, I'm going to ask Barbara, our recording secretary, to call the roll.
Frank Cunningham,
Present.
Alan Bowden,
Present.
Don DiMartino,
I don't need to be present, but I'm present.
Jim Hawkins,
Jim Horton, he will not be attending or on Zoom for our meeting. He was unavailable for our meeting. He will be able to catch up with the minutes after they completed at our next meeting. At this time, for our first point is the acceptance of our minutes of July 1st, 2020. I'll give myself a couple of minutes just to review if we need to. Now, do you see any adjustments, additions, deletions, corrections?
Nothing.
Father, again, tell you thank you so much to have your minutes as if we were just sitting in the meeting. I appreciate the hard work and effort that you God do to keep us flowing forward. If I don't see any or hear any corrections, I'll call for the vote for acceptance of our minutes of July 1st, 2020.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting.
And I'll second the motion. Do we have any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Nays, none. 2-0, please. Our next point of business will be our private cemetery discussions. We have two under this discussion. One is Wilcox Cemetery and the second is Union Cemetery. On the Wilcox Cemetery, we have discussed a portion of this at our last meeting. And I'm going to turn this over to Don DiMartino, who had conversations with one of the members. Before he does go forward with this, I'm going to ask him to take a moment of silence to honor Ms. Crooks, who had passed between our two meetings from July 1st to now. Don, I'll turn it over to you for discussion.
Yeah, got information, and I don't exactly remember who specifically I got it from. Maybe it might have come from Frank, but there is a Brian Rhodes, lives at 40 Locust Street, that I talked to, have his phone number, have his email. Says, as far as he was concerned, their cemetery committee is still active and moving forward. We mowed the lawn, we mowed the grass before Memorial Day, as we always do. Roland reported to me that it wasn't being mowed, and of course, Mrs. Crooks or Miss Crooks had passed. So Roland kept sending his crew there. Mr. Rhodes, when I talked to him, says, "Yeah, no, we're not mowing it because every time I send the guy over there to mow, it's already been done." So once we stopped mowing it, they took over the responsibility and are mowing it. So at this point, as far as we know, they look to still be a viable organization. Even without their person that was definitely their leader for many years.
So that means in regards to the open the gate and so forth for Memorial Weekend, which either myself or Mr. Rockland will make sure that the open public to be able to wait out for Memorial Weekend.
Well, we'll be in there mowing it, but they should be able to maintain the, that's one of the things that, we gladly go in and mow it once a year as we do all, but if they want to control I don't think we get involved in controlling their gate. That's all.
That was put on to us.
Yeah,
fine.
if that's what they want us to do, I'll check with them in the spring, but it's their cemetery.
Well, at this point, we'll go into Union Cemetery. Union Cemetery, I had discussion directly with Dave Brown, who is the chairman of their board, in regards to the future of Union Cemetery control and also the board. Through discussion, right now they have a meeting that's coming up, possibly scheduled at the end of November. He is going to bring this back up to the board discussion in regards to the possibility of relinquishing the control of the Union Cemetery over to the town of Bellingham, to our cemetery committee and commission, to continue running the cemetery and assisting the families that have needs and wants over at Union Cemetery, which we still have also sellable lots that are available, and we would have to just take over running the cemetery for the town, and also because Union Cemetery is on the same parcel of land as our Center Cemetery, but they are two separate entities. One is a private entity and one is owned by the town. So I look forward to inviting him into our December meeting. By that point, in discussion with him again yesterday, that it sounds like we will have a final decision, or at least a discussion with his board, and to come back to me and our board with final outcome or a possible outcome as we go forward. So we're going to put that on our agenda for our December meeting once we have set that up. That's all I have to share at this point in regards to Union Cemetery. We look forward to the conversations in the future, and this will help stabilize the Union Cemetery and the families involved within the cemetery too. My next bullet point is going to be cemetery maintenance, and in regards to the flat markers being raised by DPW and staff on overtime.
Yeah, it's, as we talked at the last meeting, it's really going to be coordinated with when one of you guys or both of you guys is going to be able to be there, go with the crew. My thoughts are it hasn't, we haven't scheduled that, so we don't really know, but generally knowing the guys, they probably would be happier doing 4 hours on a Saturday, getting the 4 hours of overtime rather than a continuation. As far as, we can offer it as continuation as well, but I think they generally would prefer to max it out. This is a good time of year to do it, up until, for another couple of weeks anyway, maybe a couple of months. So if you want to do that, per day, it will be $240. Their overtime rate is $40. That's two men so that comes up to $80 times 4 hours is $240 a day. But if they can get a lot of work done, I think it's well worth it. It saves all the aggravation of bidding and so forth. So, but it's just a matter of, you tell me, if you don't want to do a Saturday, tell me, just give me a weekday and we'll throw it out there. We'll say.
It doesn't matter to me. Okay. Whether providing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll be,
Even if it was a day like today, it was a little bit of rainy, overcast day. As long as it's not downpour and raining.
It's up to you, really, Al. It's up to you when you can be available, because as I've said, if you don't, you got to have somebody managing, especially they really don't know what to do, and you're not going to guarantee you're going to get the same guys every time we put it out there. So you're going to have to plan to be there.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
All right, so and as you say, if you want to try, you say, hey, I want to do it like next Wednesday afternoon. On Tuesday, we'll say, hey, we're going to have, who wants to work a couple of hours tomorrow afternoon. If nobody volunteers, then we'll postpone it. But, same thing. It's like Friday with morning, we'll say, we got two guys for 4 hours at the cemetery raising markers. Do we have any volunteers? It's just voluntary overtime. But at this point, we've got 4 guys who are on probation who are getting no overtime. So even if all the regular guys say no, you're probably going to have, I wouldn't think we'd have a problem filling probably either way.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. Okay.
It doesn't matter to me. I would say Saturday would probably be better.
Okay. You want to?
Just trying to squeeze 4 hours in between,
Yep.
say 3:15.
Well, I mean, it may take more than 4 hours, but I mean, you want to try to do it this Saturday then? You tell me.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Or you need to start at 7? You want to go at 8 or?
I'd say like 8.
Okay, so we'll try to set up an 8 to 12 shift for 2 guys. And what tools they need is just a couple of shovels, maybe a bar or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to have the lifting power.
As long as they can just cram some dirt underneath them.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll have them put a little dirt in the back of one of the small dumps. Not much, not even, just some sand. Okay, good.
And as we go forward, time frame, or we'll do it together this weekend. I can't do it on Saturday. do that to start
I
off.
don't have any.
We'll split the details up together and.
We should be able to get a lot done though.
In the course of 4 hours.
Yeah, I should have it all done.
Because there's not that many to be lifted in that cemetery. When you go to Center Cemetery, you might have a few more, but that again, doesn't have, if we do the entire portion of it, control, including the veterans markers, that's gonna take a little more time than actually starts cemetery. And then we need to get to Depot Street Cemetery.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, as far as I know, I'm not gonna decide.
Perfect.
All right, well, we're planning for Saturday, and we'll be, we got until Friday morning when we ask the guys what, if they want to work.
Right.
Okay,
Our next bullet point is declarations, regulations, and control. We had open discussion at our last meeting in regards to, we also passed out a couple different other cemetery requirements and rules and photos that they have actually posted. John, we'll turn this one back over to you, because I believe you were going further into this.
okay, so up on the screen, on the big screen, you see the picture of the sign. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. The sign from Walpole. I took that and put that into a text document that we can modify if we want. So this is, let me see if I can put it to the side without losing everything. Be sure that I should be able to, but let's just try this. Make it bigger. Don't do that. Thank you. Thank you. And this, put that over here. No, it's not going to let me do that. Why is it? This is going to be wider. I'm getting there. Patience. Here we go. We're getting closer. This is that I don't want to minimize, but I want to do this up. Back to this. Show tabs. Shrink that down. Now we can do this. Maybe. Maybe we can't. Okay, so let's just do it this way. Or not. Oh yeah, technology is just a wonderful thing. It's not usually. All right, I'm trying to get both screens up and it's not letting me because it's confused. Try it once again. Can't move it now. Anyhow, this is a sign that Walpole has up. This is the text of the sign with just very minor modifications. But this is what we're looking at if we want to put up something similar. So it's cemetery planting rules, no plantings or shrubs or bushes. Flowers or objects must be in front of the stone only, not exceeding 12 inches out from the front of the stone. And then when we make an actual sign, this will be better, but we'll have a sign company make it so it'll look much like they have there. No grave in flower bed enclosures of any kind, no fence rocks, plastic edging or borders, etc. Flower beds, peat moss and bark mulch only, no rocks or large bark chips. Trash barrels are for trash only, no grass clippings. Rocks, dirt, grass, dirt from edging of beds. No planting in flat markers. All violations will be removed immediately. And questions is, I should have left Walpole's number in there so we won't get calls. But that's what we're looking at. If we want to now, the question is, if that's what we're doing there, let me get to the next thing. If we're going to do that and accept all of that, then we need to do some modifications to our current regulations, in which everything in red is new. So this is a copy of our decoration regulation section. And what I've thrown in here is no gravesite borders of any kind are allowed. Any such place may be removed at the discretion of the town without notice. Planting flowers and objects are allowed in the decoration area. 12 inches directly in front of the gravestone. Decoration area limitations, and then copies the stuff that's over in the sign. So no grave and flower bed enclosures of any kind. No fencing, rock, plastic, edge border, flower beds, peat moss, prime march, and so forth. So that's, and then the rest of it is just stuff we've had before. It talks about what we do. So in order to be in sync with the sign, we need a minor modification of our regulations. At least that's the way I see it.
That modification, but I don't have the same class.
Let me blow it up some. Hopefully.
Does it reflect in regards to small decorative stone?
Well, again, that's why it doesn't. That's why we're here checking this out and saying, how do we, what do we want to do with this?
I can only give you an input from the Walpole Cemetery. That's because somebody came in with an extreme amount of stone that was much larger than decorative stone.
Yep.
And that's why we operated that with some rock.
And that's, I mean, this says, no rocks, if we want to, allow stones, then we've got to say, decorative stone is allowed somehow.
Because in regards to the stone portion, we're also trying to take position stone to create the board.
You can say, yeah, we can say no rocks. Well, we got to just define what rocks are.
So what's going to happen is it's going to be
No rocks greater than 1 inch diameter. So it's
1 inch decorative rock.
well, then you got to be a less than, or else you're going to have trouble. But yeah, say no. Yeah, in other words, we don't want.
You don't want bigger rocks.
You don't want big rocks. You want effectively small decorative stone, which is always going to be less than 3/4 inch. We can just say less than 1 inch.
Less than 1.
Yeah. So I can,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's why we're trying to, and I wish I could do this so that we can split the screen, but maybe I get it now. We just got to see less of it. So. Okay.
What would you like to add into that also?
Border fencing. Some people now are like kind of outlining the fencing, plastic fencing.
Well, that's what.
That it states it right away. That's the first one included, fencing. That's the first one.
Yeah, plastic edging. Yeah, so no fencing, plastic rocks, plastic edging or border. And that again, that's all.
I don't know how to word it correctly, but what about like some of the decorations that they put up there, as far as whirly birds and pinwheels and stuff like that?
I think we already have.
Is that covered somehow?
I
was
did,
thinking how to use it, I had that.
But if we could stick it on the sign, or we think it would be too much.
no, there's plenty of room. I think there's plenty of room in the sign.
I want to have the right terminology.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Not really good.
Yeah, I know.
You know what's the word?
So yeah, if you went, this is the time to do it. So it's temporary decorations and marches must be durable, and easily removable. This is where we would put in something to the degree of moving pinwheels or any, I don't know how.
How a moving order.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call it. Let's just say.
They decorate the graves for anniversaries, holidays,
Halloween,
Halloween,
Christmas,
Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. So you gotta figure, you gotta find the right. The right one that's it is now allowed and can be allowed. I would say any.
Allowing like a Christmas tree for Christmas, right? What if somebody does like that?
Do they like it? If they like it, doesn't mean the person next door likes it.
But they're doing their grade and they don't have, what if somebody else next to them has put something that they don't like? They're not gonna just say, take it out, I don't like it. It becomes a personal aspect. That's why I think if you're trying to control the environment, I understand. But I think there'll be a point that we go past the control issue. I had an open discussion about this with Walpole and also at St. John Baptist. And they said that anything that becomes an issue, they individually contact the families to let them know that that is not acceptable because it's interfering with people walking by, or it's just too much of a liability to be there. But to just, like I said, gotta find the right way for the world, bird. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not.
Decorations must not have any moving parts.
Yeah.
Then we can say such as, and that's when you have to,
Like you said about Christmas, what if they got one of those small little Christmas trees that have all the battery operated lights, solar powered lights that go on every night? That's something that they want to do because they want personalized their. That's what happens because we get the phone calls on it. Why was that removed? Why was this removed? On that, if anything has been removed, please contact DPW. You know, like the Christmas tree, a little bit about the size, a little bigger than your water bottle.
Yeah.
And they have a stick in the bottom which actually holds it in place, so it doesn't go to center all over the place. They have 12 inches to use. Because within that 12 inches, nothing says they can't put out rose bushes, tomato plants, so forth and so on, cucumbers, making them roll over. I'm being,
Yeah.
not being facetious. I'm truthful. That's why I'm trying to make a medium in regards to the declaration. What if somebody next door has bird farm? They put a bird.
decorations with moving parts are not allowed. Now we got to clarify what is a moving part. Is a flag's got a moving part.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of it.
Yeah. Decorations with spinning parts.
We don't, like Al was saying, we do not have a lot.
So why are we bothering?
I think we could maybe just put that portion of it.
Yeah.
Let it go and forget about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
forget about it.
and on the bottom of that sign, any questions or concerns, contact.
And yeah, the Walpole number. So,
Harvest as well. You good with that, Al?
Yeah.
You good with that, Don?
yeah, that's it's a big problem.
We'll address it.
If we start getting arguments or complaint, have you got any complaints from anybody, or it does look,
No, it's just a look.
it gets, because some people take it out of control. You know, it looks like or ants or something.
There's one I know that I was thinking about. It's an unfortunate scenario with that family and where it comes from. It's hard to differentiate it on one person. You know, we first started to talk about decoration, of stone decoration and so forth. If somebody's kept and made their lot perfect, and maintained on that all the time, that's a different story than somebody talking something and never walk back in that cemetery for another 5 years. It's all for a home, that's a different story. In my eyes. In my opinion.
Okay.
Do you have other thoughts that have to go along with this board?
No, I mean, if that's what we want to do, we'll get some signs made and we'll put them up in the spring. That was the game plan. Next meeting of a hearing to modify the regulations.
That was- that is a regulation.
Yep.
Draft sign text. How about the draft is unacceptable, not
Yeah, let me get it
proper?
in here somewhere. All right, so that's that. Let's close that. Already saved it. Let's close this on. Okay, close that. And I'm gonna bring up too far. Okay. I can make this big enough to see. Of course I can't. Isn't technology wonderful? Into the page width. Okay. A little bigger print. I don't know if you guys can see that, or I'm gonna try to zoom in. And this is what I drafted a while back, so let's go bigger.
So it's the same as what we have here.
It should be the same as that. The decorations on grave are not compliance with the cemetery regulations for grave borders, moving decorations. See, we must have moving decorations in there somewhere, but this doesn't come up. Benches, out of season decorations, dead flowers, and any permanent plantings are not acceptable. They must be removed immediately. If they are not removed by the, if they are not, it's better typing, they will be removed by the town. If they are not removed, they will be
Somewhere
removed.
within that notice, I think would be a perfect place to put any kind of holiday decorations that are put in during our downtime, because the cemetery closes December 1st, we open on April 1st. We go through our different holidays during that time, Christmas, there's other holidays time frame is that all decorations will be removed 1 week prior to the opening of the cemeteries.
That's okay, but that's a general comment for, this is for the offenders. That's more of a general,
This is just a posting note.
that's something that we're gonna put on one of those things and say, this, yeah, you're over the top.
That's fine.
And I'm gonna change this, it's not good grammar. It's just like, I'm gonna say unacceptable decorations. Unacceptable decorations include grave, I'm gonna say grave borders beyond the planting area, beyond the decoration area. Moving decorations, benches, out of season decorations, dead flowers, and any permanent plantings. So that's what's not acceptable. I'm gonna say these, because it's a site specific, these must be removed immediately. If they are not removed, they will be removed by the town. Now, I'm gonna say if they are not removed immediately, the town will remove them with no further notice. Okay, that look okay? Further's not spelled right. Fix that, maybe. Okay, we good?
Yep.
No, I don't think so. That's good.
If we'll go back up then to that draft sign text. Why, because on that sign, we need to be added in about decorations to be removed during the downtime in the cemetery.
Theory, I can.
Decorations are removed prior to the opening of April 1st.
Okay, so where do we want to put that at the end?
I'll do at the close before.
Before trash barrels, before no flat, planting of flat markers. I would think we should move that anyway. I think no planting of flat markers should go above, no trash barrels for trash only. So let's do that. And, well, okay, what do you want? So what do we want to say here?
You know where that lot, that bottom piece that's in red on the picture itself, this is all violations will be removed immediately.
Yeah.
Somewhere we need to get in that red area, that's a closing. All holiday decorations during December 1st to April 1st,
All holiday decorations.
then place between the closing dates of April 1st, December 1st to April 1st, need to be removed 1 week prior to opening.
Well, they shouldn't, if the cemetery's closed, they shouldn't be placing them.
What?
Oh, because it's,
People go into cemeteries,
even though the gate's closed.
absolutely.
All holiday, just say all holiday decorations will be removed.
Need to be removed 1 week prior to April 1st. Otherwise, we're going to be doing signs.
What's 1 week before April 1st? Let's say March. And it's trying to get fewer words are better. Let's even say, 20th, even give them 20, whatever you want to give them, 20. Holiday decorations will be will be removed annually or annually removed? Will be removed. Can't see it. Where am I? Okay. And we'll fit that somewhere. Yeah, I think we want to leave the violations above that. And we may change, maybe I'll put this in some kind of different, maybe put it in green lettering.
I figured the red would catch it.
Just can I make one comment on that?
Yeah, sure. That's why we're doing
Roll
this.
that up a little bit.
Yep.
Instead of will be removed or must be removed, that would give them the opportunity to go in there and clean it up themselves versus make it look like we're gonna do it.
Yeah. All holiday will be removed. Next one was.
Yeah.
Let's try that. If not removed. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm just trying to get it. Yeah.
Trying to get them to do it ahead of us. That's what I've done in the past, is I just go around with my own truck
Removed.
and pick them up and I bring them to the dumpster, the DPW, or down there, or the ones that jump.
Yeah, so all holiday decorations must be removed by March 20th. Okay, we good? So let's look one more draft. The top section is pretty straightforward. Dude, we want to say something about rocks so that we say no graves, flowers, enclosures of any kind. Enclosures, no, we'll say rock borders, maybe. Rock borders, plastic edging. You can probably take borders out here then, or just because they didn't have borders, I put it in there.
That's what the rocks, the decorative rock is still allowed.
Yeah, well, that's why we're going to go down here and then say no large rocks, etc. And then decorative stones less than 1 inch. This is my first draft. Let's see. Okay. Peat monster bark only. This is what I want to do. Copy, paste. That's going to be up here. What is allowed. And I want to format that. See what is allowed. Flower beds, peat moss, put it on place. Peat moss only. Oh, so where do we have decorative? Why don't we call it? Why do we call it? What do they call it? Flower beds. No, I guess yeah, flower beds, peat moss, comma, because now it's not and bark mulch. And that actually, I'm going to change that format a little bit too, because it's all one thing now. So it's all sort of flower beds, flower beds, bark mulch, stones less than 1 inch diameter. Yeah, so decorative needs to be here. I don't know. We need only. Need only in there. Take only off the bottom. Well, it's, no large rocks. Out. All right, let's try it from the top. I'm going to call this decoration area to match up our regulations. Does that sound? Because that's what we had. That's I defined in there. So no grave and flower, no grave and flower bed enclosures of any kind. No fencing, rocks, rock borders, plastic edging. Don't think we need borders again. Just say etc. That covers it. Flower beds, peat moss, bark mulch, and decorative stones less than 1 inch are allowed. No large rocks, okay? No planting, no plantings. Plantings. No planting, I guess. Trash barrels for trash only. Violated again. All holiday decorations must be removed by March 20th. Call Barbara. Call Barbara or give her home and her cell phone. Okay, we good? Yeah, no, this will be going to a sign guy and he'll space it out for us. Yeah, we'll probably put it on a 12 by 18 sign. This is an 11 by 17 sheet of paper, so in this, it would be closer to the top. There'll be a border. It would be similar to the one they have. It's going to look more like a sign than it looks like a Word document.
A sign that I had,
I believe you. I know there's a sign.
that side, reflective aspect.
Yeah, it will be retro reflective, and which is just what everything is now.
But I was very good point about getting one, we might as well get 10.
Yeah, I don't know about 10, but we'll get a few.
Because
We'll
I have
get.
an idea at that cemetery to put them on each of those avenues. So that they can't say,
Yeah.
there's 4 avenues here.
we'll get a count and figure out what makes sense, but I don't, 10 may be a little, that may not be that bad the more I think about it.
Think about it, if we take on Union, we gotta deal with Simple, we still gotta figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't have to buy them all now and have them on the shelf. That, you know, once, you know, it's not, this is not a terribly expensive sign. Okay, so the sign is done. That's done, that's done.
Our next one is the bench engraving, how to obtain rights to engraving. We've had this open discussion. When the benches originally came to fruition on phase 1 and 2, those benches, in my recall, were $800 a piece. The family was required to pay, if they wished to have a bench, they paid for the bench, and they paid for the engraving. The engraving is, the $800 was what the bench cost us, and that's why we put that number through.
Yep.
The engraving will all depend on how much.
Yeah, because they paid for the engraving too,
Right.
as I recall.
But we still have our engraving. They're not
Right.
putting in their own engraving.
Right.
Yeah, so in other words, you're gonna try to have people purchase one of the benches that we already have up there.
That's the whole idea. When we first start putting the benches in, because that's prior to joining the board, those benches were put in there so the families could buy it. And also
What am I looking for
as
here?
a dedication to the upland. And the first one that was done, the family's not at that benefit is not buried there. They're buried, we're buried over at the beginning of the cemetery. And the only other one that's been cut so far has been, so now Tony and all the hard work that he's done.
Yeah, and I paid for that engraving, so.
So then, as a board, I have no problem to donate that back to his family.
So if somebody wants to engrave a bench, they have to buy the bench for $800, which goes into our gift fund, and then they tell us what they want to put on it, and we send it to the engraver and send them a bill for that too, where they can bill directly.
We give them proof of what it's gonna look like and
Yeah.
the dollar value. Pay for it.
Right. Okay, that's good with me. You guys okay with that? Well, I'll write it into the regs somehow.
Sounds good, but if they're purchasing the bench, I want
Oh, no.
No, yeah.
I want
They're in the
to know that that's,
Yeah.
They're in the concrete.
Yeah, they can be moved. They're not cemented into the
I
concrete.
thought it was,
I think they were sitting.
They might just be sitting there, or they might be pinned. I don't even think they're pinned. I think the upper sections are pinned, but I don't think the benches are just because they're so heavy.
But I don't have the problem itself.
Yeah, benches can be purchased, and, you know, benches must remove their, you know, and can be purchased by family members. Yeah, I'll set that up.
benches at Columbarium location.
That would solve the bench over there. But I think there's enough.
Some in the back. Because we have two in the middle, so there's two benches. Phase 4 is not.
This is beautiful.
You're gonna have to add that into, not regulations.
Yeah, I mean, it would be in, we have the rates and fees in a regulation, so we'll just add it to the back. We have somewhere in there what it costs to have, for what do you call it, scattering, to engrave the ends.
Engraving on the wall, the side wall.
Yeah, so it's not dissimilar to be in there, so. Okay,
No, because the family can do it in many different ways, so they can do the top part of it, they can do the side of it. So the template is gonna be made up by themselves. You know the template that you have with all the squares? You can just do a big block like that, so you can even say you're gonna do it across the face or on the top. And there's only gonna be so much text that can fit on there either way.
On top of it, put a lot.
So you could put a lot.
You want to let them engrave on the top? or just in the front and the other
no,
one
I
on
think
top?
that's, you're gonna save hold moisture in there. You run the risk of something spalling, so it's gotta be,
I would say border.
Yep.
Like the ones that we have up there
Yeah.
already.
quarter and greater than 90. Which people that you have with all the block letters is what you focus on. You can do a big block. Because if they want to put that information, you can always make it very small. That's why I said it's a big block.
Sale of benches and engraving. If I can type better. Okay,
Yeah,
bench cost.
300. If there's a change or we get like if we end up with more benches, whatever the cost factor is because if you're in town cemetery, then it's rain and we get.
Let me finish this. Get it done. Must provide draft text for review of the committee pricing. Applicant must pay purchase and engraving cost prior to engraving. Something like that. Okay, that sound okay? Look okay? Can you see it? Probably not. I can't see it. I'm sitting right in front of it. All right, sale. This is a category bench purchase price is $800. Engraving must be along the edge of the seat only. Applicant must provide draft text for review of the committee, review and acceptance by the committee. Let's change that. Applicant, I'm working on now. Applicant will be informed of the engraving cost. Cost. Applicant. Let's see, what's here? Engraving must be on seat edge only and done by town engraver.
all finished, they're not rough cuts. It's all smooth finish all the way around.
Okay, can you guys read this? Need it bigger. Okay. Even my mother could read this. Well, she would have to be here. All right, sale of existing columbarium benches and engraving. Bench purchase price is $800. Engraving will be along the edge of the seat and performed on-site and done by the town. Applicant must provide draft text for review and acceptance by the committee. Applicant will be informed of the engraving cost, let's say prior to order. Applicant must pay purchase and price and engraving.
See that what Carl was talking about? That's in there too. That's on,
And it can't be moved from its current position.
question that Al had on that first. That's for which purchases?
Okay, I think we good now. I think the thing I added at the end, bench cannot be relocated from its current location, position. All right, so I'm gonna save this. Save as, give me a moment. Relations. Purchase. Save. Okay. All right, so we have now moved down to Scott Cemetery.
Bullet point is cemetery, Civil War
Okay,
monument repairs.
this is what that looks like right now. Not very good.
This was brought to our attention back somewhere around April. When we first opened up.
So this, if I'm reading this stone right, this gentleman's name, first name is Duty. Am I reading it right? Captain Duty Cook. And then unfortunately, there's not an awful lot that's
We needed,
D-U-T,
is that a
that's
U?
captain.
No, that's the D, is that a U?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what else it would be.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking. I've never heard anybody called Duty. Howdy, maybe, but that's Duty. So that's one piece. There are only 3 pieces out there. I mean, this is the next piece, which there's something missing in between, but it says aged. And it's sort of the beginning of a number, and then the thing that would be the divider. And then the next one, something, so aged something 1 years.
So I think it's been 71 years old.
That's what I was gonna say. Anybody got a clue as to what that is?
Yeah,
71?
because when we put that, the one before it, it had 7.
Well, it doesn't clearly have 7, but if you say it's 7, it's the best guess I had too. So, all right, yeah, I guess. Yeah, all right, now I see it. So we're gonna say 71.
So that piece goes together with that.
Yeah, those pieces go together, but there appears to be a significant amount missing in the middle.
That blacked out area where it's dark with white. and there's, stuff
Because this text,
in there.
it's gonna say died, and it's an engraved text different than the script. So there's an entire piece in there that doesn't exist right now. So if nothing else, Jay's gonna need to have something, because he hasn't got the pieces just to put it back together.
There's nothing left of it.
When I went out there with him, he spent a few minutes literally digging by hand. He said, I'll come out and dig some more. But he was down in front of the area of the stone 6 inches and didn't find anything else that was viable. So this is what the next problem I have, and I sent an email to Dennis because somebody, this individual doesn't even appear. I don't know if you remember Frank Haley put together a list of Civil War, and it's actually posted on our website. Didn't it include one person in Scott Cemetery? Wasn't this individual? So even Frank had not picked this guy up. So somewhere somebody's picked up that he's marked, his grave's marked with a veteran's flag, but if we can get any more information about this individual, we'll be able to get a better stone put in there for him. And in the meantime, we'll put up similar to your little markers, and it's similar to what we just drafted. We'll laminate it and put Mr. or Captain Duty Cook's monument is out being repaired by a conservator. Just so that there's something there. If somebody's looking for it, they'll say, what's going on? What happened to this stuff? I can't imagine a family member. But I'm happy to say that you agreed at 71 years, because I was. Okay, good. Okay, and we don't have it, then we have no information. So anyway, that's all we've got on that. It's going to, we're going to talk about J. Rowe's going to pick it up at some time. His convenience work on it is winter at his shop, and hopefully get it back on early in the spring.
We had open discussion yesterday among members, but we're not all together. And it's something to be together as members all three, we have to have it. So, in discussion, it came out that your answer was likewise mine and Jim. To allow it to be moved. We're the ones that are in control of the repair. Now, one question was asked, we need to get in touch with the veterans agent in town. If they were running the program to fix it, I would say yes, they need to have it signed up. It's on our.
Yeah, Dennis agreed too. I just wanted to, I didn't want to, I know this didn't come from us originally to say that something needed to be done out there. I met Dennis out there, and I don't know who reported it to him. He and I met out there.
Somebody brought
His attention, and I just wanted to make sure if that person knew, hopefully Dennis will know if that person has more information, and if so, we'll get it off. So anyway, that's a done deal, or hopefully will be by the time we meet next spring. That moves us down to.
Our next 4 points is possible improvements at Scott Cemetery, once again, Center Street, in regards to the road behind the columbarium, so that we're going to hopefully invite more
Okay.
resale of the backside of the.
So this is where we are. We have I've talked to I've reconfirmed the price. It's $3,900 for a day's worth of work. I have less than an hour of work for him to do for DPW. What we do have available, however, is the cemetery gift fund that we can spend by vote of this committee, because the $3,900 would close, would pretty much wrap our entire annual operating budget. So we do have a fund which we can use to do this. We'll probably end up paying J. Rowe out of it now as well. Like I said, we have $12,621 in there. If it's good to go, the board should vote to utilize those funds to bring in ground penetrating radar.
How many hours is that for the 3,900?
It's a day.
It gives us 8 hours.
Yeah.
So then if we were going, as we're going forward, let's talk about more work we've done in Scott Cemetery.
Well, I think we have him do, this is the area we're talking about. I think we have him do from the graves, the few graves that are here, all the way down in this open area.
All the way to the as far as we can
Well, this is too thickly settled. He's got something that's about that wide that he has to roll in a straight line. So.
get. So that becomes a hill where you have the surface, that becomes a more actual raise.
There's a little raise in the ground. This is a topo map. So this is sloping down to a low spot in here, and this is sloping down to a low spot there.
Does it show the first gate? You go up a little bit more with that map.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I want to talk about. So I think we have him do this entire area to see if we can bring a road around. And then we have him there are a couple of graves there, you can just barely make them out. And then do this the entire clear area here. There were graves right up against there. But see, as much as he can get done in this area. And then I think our next move, before we worry about clearing the whole thing for graves, is that we look at extending, if there's nothing there, if we can get a road through, is we look at cutting a road out to here. Yeah, so the first, and I think we can do that, avoiding most of the big trees. So, and not being so close to the residents, I wouldn't even have, the tree wardens felt it's like, yeah, if you're gonna clear the whole area, you're probably gonna want to have a hearing. But most of the stuff in there is no bigger than your thumb. And then maybe 1 or 2 trees to get enough width to get a nice, and build like we have out there, use a reprocessed asphalt product and build another road, which would be, I'm sure, easy for bigger funerals and so forth. So that's, yeah, so that's my recommendation, is that we have him come out, we pay him to do this first priority. If he's done with this, this will take him maybe 3 hours. I mean, works very quickly. I don't think we've got any other places that we haven't had him do it. We don't think we got anybody there, but we can. Absolutely. So, yeah, yep. Oh, it was. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, we hopefully won't find anything, but yeah, we haven't found anything we done up there. Yeah. Yep. So we'll have him do this area. We'll have him do this area. We'll have him do that area, up to the tree line, and then that'll put us in. I don't believe anybody would be interred in here. That seems sort of foolish. Right, right here.
There's three graves up between the road and Bennett that were put in there from someone that used to take care of something that definitely had no ground.
No, and we didn't hit anything. Yeah, these are the last of the graves that are there. So I'm fairly confident that we'll be clear in here, and if we are, I think the first step is to put this road through. We could then consider opening this area up for graves without even any more clearing. We'll have, that's all set, and hopefully we'll be able to get the road, come on. Get the road to come behind, and probably there's graves here, so loop back out fairly quickly behind the columbarium and back out here. So so yeah, we're gonna try to leave. I see that you're looking at this. That doesn't look like it's gonna work. Yeah. Yeah. So we're not gonna put phase 4 here. We're gonna put it over here. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's still. We'll see what he finds, because there are stones right here, so not far away. The best scenario we can do is have nothing in here, so that we can loop this around and bring it in there and put the other columbarium in there.
I think if you try phase 4, where the original was going to go and put the road in,
Well, and looking at this now, it may be viable to put one here going the opposite direction. Again, smaller, and here, wrap it around, So anyway, we'll see what he finds in this area and up front, and so that's what. And you do need to vote to expend the funds.
This through discussion now, and Jim and I have this discussion too. I'm not sure in regards to making the investment in Oakville Cemetery to put the actual, just putting one columbarium in.
Yep.
Because we're 3.5, 4 miles away from that cemetery here, and this is more viable location.
Yep, I agree. And that tree doesn't look that healthy, but it's not dead either. So the cedar, the big cedar tree.
Yeah, well, I'll go over that.
So we haven't had further discussion in regards to this portion of possible improvements at Scott Cemetery, step 1. No?
I have one other question. Columbarium, yeah, the whole road.
Yeah.
That is future plan.
I would think so.
Because some people have asked me about that location. It's nothing there, so I don't know.
We were trying to use
Yeah.
up some of these first before opening that last. That's our last true section.
That's, yeah, it's flat. That's road on both sides.
So that's going to be minimum 4 grades because we are 2 in front, 2 in back. Where the size is exactly the same size as here.
Right, yeah.
That was future plans, and that was prior to.
So that's down the road.
Yep, it won't be that far down the road. I would say within 2 years we should get to that.
And I've met with some different people there recently, and they asked me about that. Well, as far as I know right now, we're not selling any of those.
Not yet. We're trying to
And we're
utilize that.
pushing them more towards the front. To, just, you know, like where the one straight are. And so, to the house or something like that. Yeah. And so, too, so they can down the side. People do ask me.
But that's why we're gonna put that four and six grade lots over there, because we have the capability of doing front and back because of the two avenues.
Yeah, yeah.
And put the storm because we have the section before.
Yeah.
And you can't do that in section by the road.
All right. Good.
So that is future plans.
Yeah.
We'll do that one. You know, if somebody was,
So as of right now, it's nothing to
except in the four grade and
say. Four grade.
four grade.
There's no
Unless you,
point in
unless you
running
want
that.
to say it up now as a sixth grade, you can use it as sixth grade. But the problem is, there's not that many families that are looking for sixth grade, so that's why I went to four.
Yeah, you're talking about this area right here.
Like, the one just in front of the bathroom column.
Right by the column there.
Yeah, I mean, because that's exactly, we just haven't got it open for sale yet.
Yeah.
Because we went through a lot of discussion when we started putting in the roads and adjusting the roads that we have now. We matched those two lot sections so that they would be near to each other. And also for maintenance purposes and digging purposes.
Okay, good to move on.
Good? Good?
So we're not worrying about tree removal at this point. We'll see what we have, ground penetrating radar, come up with a possible game plan for clearing of at least first the road, and then if we want to clear additional space adjacent to the road in the future, somebody else can worry about it.
So
Won't be me.
When that ground penetrating day is gonna happen, I'm sure I would like to do that.
Thrilling stuff.
No, it's just that,
No, it's not. It's boring.
one, but when we get to that area, at least I can give an idea of where that road should come out, so when we go across the way, so we can kind of see.
Yeah.
Well-
Mostly with a can of white paint.
Well, that's what he'll be doing, is marking out where the graves are, and then we've got to try to find a place to put the road in. Okay, these are some pictures from North Cemetery. They're all in North, so it's not Oak Hill. This is a dead tree that I'll be asking Mike Burr to add to the list.
That's an old person.
Well, no, this is North Cemetery. Oak Hill's over here somewhere. This is in the corner near the Irving Station. Yeah, that's a dead oak tree. We're gonna be putting out to bid another dead tree removal project. And so we'll make sure that gets added into that. This is the tree that is broken. It's on, I could kill it if I try hard, maybe.
That's in the ground.
The tree that I just showed you is right here in the front corner. The dead tree that has fallen is somewhere back in here. I looked at it today, obviously, took pictures of it, and although it doesn't look pretty, my feeling is it's in the edge of the woods. Matter of fact, I'd cut it all in pieces and let it roll down the hill. Yeah, Mike was talking about getting a truck in there to get it out. I think a good guy with a couple of, we'll have a tree service guy go in there and just cut it, because the woods beyond there is going to be, never going to be touched. Because
It's gonna be 50 feet or better down there.
yeah, if not 50 feet, in other words, it's going to be, and if you look down there, there's already 4 or 5 dead trees laying in the valley there. So even if we end up cutting the pieces and it stays just inside our fence, there's about a 15-20 foot buffer of woods on the cemetery before the fence. So the trick is to get it out of there so we can fix the fence. That's all it's about. So I'll be talking to Mike about that as well. And I think that's, if you agree with it, because Mike was talking about getting a machine in there to do some work. I think that's unnecessary. Somebody telling me I have a $500 charge in my Amazon account. Times it 2.
That would be
Yeah, but you bought something good. So anyway, that's That's the tree effort.
And that's where the funding was gonna come out of, using maybe perpetual care fund.
Yeah, we can't use, I got that straightened out. We cannot use perpetual care fund. We can use this fund though. So that too will come out of the 6770. Yeah, that's where you gotta go back and vote on that, on the expenditure out of the cemetery maintenance gift fund. $3,900 for ground penetrating radar, and I'm not sure this, I would say put $3,000 in, it's not gonna cost that. Up to $3,000 for the removal of the tree in North Cemetery. The trees, one standing dead and one fallen dead. Yeah, but Jay, I wouldn't worry about it. We're not gonna get an invoice from Jay till long after our next meeting, so I'll push him for $1. But he almost said he'd do it for nothing. He does that kind of stuff. Right.
All in one account.
Yes, it's the only account. The only account we can grab from at this point.
That's not under that gift fund account,
That is the gift fund account.
but I think we're the 6770, which is.
67770 is the account number.
Oh,
So the 39 would be for the radar.
okay, 2,000,
Not to exceed 3,000 for the tree removal at North Cemetery.
Because I went over that with Mike and Chris. They suggested that we brought in a tree company.
Oh, yeah.
Clean that up. And the trees prior to it that should come down. And I showed Mike that cedar tree out in front that's all rotted out.
Well, that's where we're gonna put the columbarium, but,
Right.
do we want to take that down or we want to leave it there? Because it's still got some green on it.
Yeah.
but it's
Oh, wow.
high.
Yeah.
It looks like it's pretty hollow.
Yeah,
I thought about, what do you think you thought?
Because he was saying for about $3,200 if you bring the tree company in there for the day.
yeah, well, that's, so
And, you
go,
know, clean
go,
up around the fence line there.
go for it.
There's a couple of trees that have got to come down in that area. There's some tree limbs that should come down. Can't take that one down until it's done.
Let's do that then.
And then going back towards.
So make it 3,500 in case, so not to exceed 3,500.
The Gentili's grave is, and that whole family's area for some time. That area is kind of cleaned up.
Right.
We ran into it, we were over the grave 3 weeks ago. Because it's just so overgrown and hanging while we
Yeah.
had the crew there, imagine you were
Yep.
out there 8 hours.
But the DPW guys in the back of the 6-wheel dump truck up there, with pole saws, cut some of the limbs so they can get. the
Yeah, just get in there,
machine.
yeah. Yeah, sure. That's great.
The whole company had to go through the woods trying to get to access that grave because there's no other way to access it. So
So then modify that to $3,500.
I'll make a motion to utilize our gift fund account 1, the ground penetrating expense at Scott Cemetery, $3,900. To do ground penetrating needs at Scott Cemetery on Center Street, and secondary coming out of the same account, which is account 6770. Another $3,200 to.
Make it 35.
Yeah.
Just let's have a cushion.
$3,500
Just have enough.
to have tree removal done at North and Oak Hill Cemeteries on Hartford Ave. North Elm. I have a motion on this.
I'll second that.
Do you have any discussion? Don, you can add in on the discussion on this one.
No, good.
No, but Mike told me it would probably take about a month before we get a tree company in there.
Yeah, because they're busy, especially guys busier today.
And if you think that ground penetrating can be done before this? Before the.
I don't know for today, but probably tomorrow, I'll get in touch with him and say, come on up. So I would think he's gonna be probably here within a month or so.
Even the trees done, if you get a hold of Mike, and they can schedule a time.
Yep.
I'll go up there and.
Yeah, sure.
Go up too and just get a can of paint, mark out the ones that we feel.
Yep.
Should come down, and utilize them for the 8 hours if they're there.
In between Al and I, we can oversee the project as it's going forward, just in case as we're going forward. we realize we should touch it.
Yeah, I'll definitely go up there the day they cut it.
Okay.
So I have a motion, I have a second. Hearing no discussion, we'll call for the vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2-0. Jim, hopefully you're all in agreement with what we're doing. Apologize that you couldn't be with us.
You can probably pick this up on YouTube tomorrow.
You're with us in spirit. Great. That takes us down into wage sites and niche field. Bob, I'm going to allow you to take this one. Do you have anything?
For niche purchases. To Bellingham, to consultants,
Thank you. You have something to say, please?
North Cemetery, the sign we put like a year or two ago, that was green in the front, well, the kids painted the back of it. There's nothing, no names or anything, but it's all like swirl, like they paint on railroad cars and stuff.
It's not offensive, but
It's not offensive, but if we could just paint the back of the sign.
The billboard sign, you mean?
No, it says North Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
It's green in the front. facing
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. We also may have some graffiti remover for something. I think that all depends on the substance. I think that the surface is probably plastic, so the graffiti remover works pretty well on that.
It's
Okay.
the back of the sign, not the front.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing on the back.
I'll have Chris take a look at it. Play at the service crew up there right away. Okay. That's a good. You don't have to wait for a meeting for that. You can
Yeah.
call that in anytime.
Now, last portion before we do adjourn, meeting is scheduling our next meeting, which is going to be December. December 16th, 1 p.m. in the Arcan building room would be wonderful. I'll ask them to take a look at the scheduling, if that works.
Good for me.
December 16th, 1 p.m. here in the Arcan building room. And we're going to put that down, Jim. Hopefully that's going to fit in your schedule. You told me a bunch of dates yesterday, and hopefully I remember the right dates. We have no other further business or discussion to go forward. I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
And I'll recommend the motion.
And I'll second the motion. I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great meeting.